Hello everyone, hi, it's me Giffyglyph. Welcome to Social Encounter, a little D&D stream where I sometimes talk about D&D. How is everyone doing today? Hey Fabre, hey Barkston, hey Fawn, hey Zormar, how's it going? Hey Mountain Dew. Yeah, one day we're going to get those tentacles going. It's just... That's when you know I've become like pro streamer extraordinaire, right? That'll be the glory days. Yeah, how's everyone doing? What is up with my... Is my volume too... I feel like I'm spiking a lot. Okay, alright, I'm going to try that and see if that helps. Anyway. Yeah, how's everyone doing today? On the docket today, we kind of just really have Foundry, because that's basically all I've been doing this week and last week, and for the rest of this month probably. So we're going to chat a little bit about Foundry and whatever else is interesting or that you guys have kind of been up to. Unless there's like some prime distraction or something we can build on stream. Maybe there's something like that, something that people might be interested in. Oh, I've missed you. Oh, we've missed you too, Fawn. Yeah, I kind of, because I'm only streaming, what, like once a week at the moment while I'm, you know, figuring stuff. I do kind of miss it in a weird, like, awful way. Right? It's kind of like, I get a lot of coding time done, which is really good. Super useful, especially now at this time where I'm figuring out Foundry, but there's also like the social pressure of having to like be on stream and having to kind of get some stuff definitively finished to put in front of people. It's like having a job, right? I've got a deadline coming up. I need to get stuff sort of visible and demonstrable. So I think although for the rest of March I might kind of still be on a 1 week stream thing. Oh, thanks for the sub, Cynical. Oh, good to see you again. How's it going? The campaign I was running using some of the Darker Dungeon stuff finally ended after about 70 hours, Cynical. Holy... That's a lot of sessions. 6-hour session. Yay, I hope Darker Dungeons was helpful to you. But also, when you run a 6-hour session... What's the balance between like gameplay and, you know, down chat kind of in those games? Also, congrats on finishing a campaign, because that was a big deal. Let me know, by the way, if my volume is too high or too low or spiking or anything weird. Sorry, where am I at? I've missed a few. Biomancy no longer has a minion and has transitioned to a fleshy... Oh yeah, I think I remember you mentioning this last time, Mountain Dew. Yeah, we'll queue that up to have a look. Hey Dr. Dan, how's it going? Dr. Dan Kovsky... Is that Nurako? Am I remembering, is this like Nurako under a different guise? I think so. A few days ago I had a meeting where I dry tested the mechanics for the poker roll game. Me and the rest of the players liked it, so we're planning a full-fledged test. Ooh. Wait, poker roll? Which one was poker roll? Notepad. Let's just queue you up and get you visible again. Hang on, is that too far? Yeah, there we go. Perfect. My newest inspiration for world building is ancient and Renaissance philosophers. Ooh. In what respect? Have you got any examples? Also, I mean, starting Pokemon, I mean, the Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur was obviously the best one. I mean, that's kind of it. We need to convince everyone to start using Foundry. Simply. Sorry. So the Dark Dungeons Foundry. Actually, we'll let me just kind of catch up with chat, and we'll just we'll get up to there. Imagine if we had VODs in. Look, Dad. I've done it. I've done my homework. It's there. It's just, well, one of them is there. It's just YouTube takes ages. Because I guess it's like a 3-hour vid, right? So it just takes forever to process. So hopefully, I'm kind of getting there. I've kind of got it figured. Oh, hell yeah. See, this is how you know this is a protagonist, right? They got the blue hair. God, I would love to be able to have like blue hair. I don't think I could reasonably pull that off. Hey, E-Dub, how's it going? Good to see you again. We take a 30-minute break at about the okay, yeah. That's pretty good. So how did one, what was the big bad by the end of it, right? Who were the players kind of fighting? And two, how did Dark Dungeons kind of help the experience, or did it hinder it in some ways? If you've got any feedback, I'm obviously open to hearing about it. Poker roll projects. Ooh. 2.0. Right, hang on. Actually, before I get stuck into this, let me just kind of do a rundown of what I've been up to this week, and what I'm probably going to be up to next week, and we'll do the fine print. So obviously, and again, this week has been taken up by Foundry and playing around with Foundry and trying to learn more about Foundry. So some of you will know that I'm using the Quick Quest role-playing system as a sort of prototype to learn Foundry as from kind of start to finish, right? To use it as a medium for like creating an entire system, right? Like, what do I need to do that in order to facilitate the programming of Monster Maker modules and various like plugin modules for the 5th edition system. So this week I've been wasting time doing card layouts because, oh my god, I'm so bad at deciding what stuff should look like. These cards have kind of gone through about like 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 different iterations where I'm trying to figure out a style that I like the look of and is flexible enough to kind of, work nicely during a game, I guess. Anyway, so we have the character sheet kind of nice and working. We have a nice inventory system where you can like selectively hide stuff, and it tells you your total value and your total bulk, how much you've got equipped, and blah blah blah. It has all these little like nice little dials because I get very obsessed about that stuff. You can equip stuff, blah 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 blah. But now, so the last kind of piece of, I guess, this phase is finishing up the roll system. So actually, let me just hide those. We'll just come back to those in a second. Wait, did I mean to do? Oh. Bollocks, I didn't actually mean to close. That's what I was going to do, and I completely forgot it. Fuck. Anyway, so now the last kind of piece of this phase is just getting the rolling system working and fully implemented. I've got the basics of it in there. I just need to fine tune it and add in like some extra bells and whistles, and then it's kind of. I mean, it's not done because I want to add in perks and features and sort of compendium packages. I need to kind of figure those out. But then it's pretty much done, which is really good. I know I've kind of lauded, praised, I've raved about Foundry before in the past. Again, speaking as someone who's not played a game in it, I've only developed stuff for it, but to code stuff in this is really nice. Like, they've got a very nice platform. I'm really enjoying building content for this, so there might be more content coming up in future because yeah, this might kind of be my prime virtual tabletop that I build stuff for, kind of going forward. But yeah, so Quick Quest, it's, I know I said last week it's kind of coming towards the end, but this week, it's definitely this week. Definitely this week is going to kind of, wrap up, or at least fucking has to, because the other thing that we need to start work on is the Monster Maker module, right? So hang on, let's just... so as I kind of spoke about, if not last week, then a couple of weeks beforehand, something that has been requested a couple of times, right, is the ability to like import monsters from the app directly into Foundry, which is like, hey, definitely would be certainly useful to do. But hey, what if there was a module that let you create the monsters directly in Foundry? Huh? Wouldn't that kind of be useful? And that way you could use it to just kind of build your monsters in there or adjust them on the fly, you know. Hey, that sounds like something that could be kind of convenient. So that's what I'm going to be building for Foundry after Quick Quest version 1 is done and pushed out. And then after that we'll start doing some various Darker Dungeons modules. Primarily, I think the first one is going to be Trials, because Trials seems discrete enough that you could kind of plug it into any game and it would be, you know, convenient in a Foundry format. Anyway, yeah, so that's basically what I've been up to. Now let me catch up on chat, unless anyone else has got any sort of questions about that or whatever's. Give you a shout out about my dream yesterday. Actually, I don't remember what the context. I just remember he had to go outside for some reason. Well, I mean, that must have been a dream, because who has time to go outside? Especially not with this hair. Hey Kenku, how's it going? Oh my god. Yeah, you gotta have blue hair. Oh, thanks for the cheers, Cynical. That's super kind of you. Thank you. Okay, you've got stuff. Like, let me catch up. I'm like way behind. But also Strong Bad, Homestar Runner. Do you fucking remember that back in the day? Oh man. That's one thing that I really miss about the death of Flash now, right? Is I can't even remember the name of the guys who did Homestar Runner, but they were just they were so far ahead of their game in terms of like planting in little secrets in the animation, where it's like you'd click on it and it would show you a little like extra animation or a little secret kind of whatever. They were so far ahead of the curve. They were geniuses. My favourite I come across so far is the idea of Neoplatonism. Says that at the beginning of everything there is the one. One is a being that's so indescribable because it is simultaneously everything. It's being everything, but it's also everything. Oh, that's kind of good. So I like using these kind of things as a way of religion is a very important thing I think of. Or I like to consider when I'm doing world building, because, you know, hey, religious dogma, it can be very culturally influential, right, and can really add a lot of tone or flavour to your settings. So I always, yeah, like rooting through philosophies or existing religions to try and get a little, you know, je ne sais quoi to a place is really effective. Kenki was worried about you, mate. Oh, yeah, no, sorry. I've just been super distracted this week. I mean, it's been a bit of a busy work week, but also, Foundry has just... Sorry, I mean, Foundry and sorting out my YouTube VODs and sorting out the Trello board. You know, these things that I said I was going to do and definitely didn't remember last minute today. Definitely not. I'm so bad. Doing well, just winding down for the evening. Ooh... Yeah, me too. I've been thinking about running some D&D again. I've taken a month-long break. Wow. Yeah, see, I'm itching to get back to playing D&D. I haven't run a game for a year, which is kind of a long time. Especially when I'm supposed to be, you know, when I'm writing material for 5e, I kind of need to be running games. But... hopefully we're on the way out of this and I can get back to actually running stuff. 3 a week though, that's I don't know how anyone has the energy for that. I can do 1, maybe 2 a week, but 3 is it's me, it's nice to remember. Our Chult campaign continues to move. Recently my players got to Camp Vengeance. Drowning in shit, literally. Nice. Horde of Undead attack the camp. Perfect. I mean, Undead are like just perfect. Just things to attack. Fuck. Sorry. Alright, I am way behind on chat. I'm just going to speedrun this. Sorry if I miss something super important. I've been ranting too much. The BM is basically an ancient red dragon. Yes. Ancient weapons in a battle against the gods. Gods that were. Ooh, okay, nice. Reshape the worlds. Yes. In the end, they reshape the. Oh, okay, interesting. Do the players get to define what the future direction is? Ooh. Kenku is rooting for you, mate. If you've got nothing else going. See, that's the problem. Like, I've always got something. If it's not a Kenku, then it's the 20 billion projects I've kind of got queued up. I was. Like Trello was, I was looking at that today because I was fixing it up. Where are we at? Like, just look at all these fucking stupid projects, right? This isn't even everything, to be honest. Like, Quick Quest isn't on here. There's like some other stuff that I'm tinkering with that isn't on here. I just had this at one point. All I had was Darker Dungeons. When did, like, all the... I mean, Arcane Arts Factory, to be honest, like, this is kind of there. It's parked. Still, though, ridiculous. Been advocating for Foundry for almost a year. Recently started to feel vindicated. Glad to see you start working with it since I use so much Dark Dungeons in my games. Yeah, excellent. It's a really again, I don't know what it's like to use to run a game, but the interface is beautiful. The coding for it is so just elegant and easy to do. It's worlds apart from Roll20. It's crazy. Dark Dungeons definitely help with things like inventory and survival early on in the game. I didn't use all your systems, changed a few because I wanted to scale it into... Oh, okay, yeah, perfect. Yeah, so this is a very important thing, I guess, with Dark Dungeons generally. Obviously, a lot of that kind of the grit and the simulation that it encourages, or like some of the modules focus on, kind of break down once players get prolonged access to certain resources and certain spells and whatever, you know, like inventory management. Eventually, unless you can find a way to start causing problems for players, it really starts to break down around, you know, sort of 9th, 10th level, because players just get they have access to too much in the world. So I tend to use those in the early game to kind of get the taste or put initial pressure on players, right? And then I start to phase those things out as levels kind of become, or as power kind of starts to increase, depending on the party. But yeah, it's good that you're definitely tweaking that to suit your game. That's definitely kind of how you should be running these things, right? And that camping was successful. I mean, like camping to me, it was a very important thing to start mechanizing, because it's such an important part of the experience, right? Like, yeah, I'm really glad that worked out for you. I just saw a mention of solo. Found a lone grung who's actually a 5-player level 5 solo. Yes, excellent. Okay. 2 phases, step 3. Oh, yes. I soaked him. See, this is always like, you know, you kind of build solo monsters, right? And I deliberately kind of give solo monsters more hit points than they probably should have, because I like to bake in time for non-optimal gameplay on the DM side, where it's like, hey, you know, you now have the ability to waste rounds basically just showing off or doing movement abilities. You know, you don't have to focus on damage as like every single thing, because you've got a bit of like a hit point buffer. But yeah, even then, depending on your party, sometimes you can just tear through these monsters, right? Oh Oh my god. Sorry, I genuinely did not catch up at all, did I? Fucking hell. Alright, okay. Speed, run. Yeah, seriously, strengthens there. I think I'll take this one too. Excellent. Yeah, I mean, like, party composition and items can definitely skew the balance in a lot of those combats. Biggest flash thing was Problem Sleuth of MS Paint Adventures. Fell off that quite soon into Homestuck. Oh, okay. I've never read Homestuck. That kind of was a big fandom thing, I guess. Running a Traveller campaign and an Eberron campaign now, but I've been eyeballing the Song of Swords. Ooh, what is Song of Swords? Hang on, let me Google that. Song of Swords. Heading to the pump, which pumps water from the underground layers to the surface. Okay. See, I love little... sometimes, you know, not every problem has to be high magic, right? Sometimes it is just enough to say, hey, look, the sewage in this place is fucking wrecked and everyone is having a really bad time. Very often, like, I will start off games with these like these kind of problems in mind, right? It's like, okay, you know, the sewage is wrong, or the water is tainted, or like whatever, just these sort of low-level problems that have sometimes might have like a magical monster element to them or whatever, but you know, you have to start off with the not boring, right, but the grounded stuff to make the epic levels kind of feel appropriately epic, right? I do 2 a week, but they are all 6-hour sessions. If I didn't have work, I could perhaps handle 4 if we get enough people. See, this is it. I just don't think I mean, I know I don't have the brain energy to run 4 worlds kind of simultaneously. I'm very jealous of people who can do that. Players at the end basically placed a whole lost continent on the world that was lost during the First War. Oh, retired characters, yes, excellent. Yeah, this is a really good way to end that, right? You've given them a piece of the world. That's very important for players. I'm like so keen on giving players control of pieces of the narrative, like little factions or NPCs or races, even just like little parts of the world that they can own and feel not defensive, right, but possessive of, because you can use those threads to really pull them into the game. Hey Shreddy, how's it going? This is excellent. You have so many things to procrastinate with. On the Trello, yeah, I know, right? I don't know if you're open to any suggestions. I recently moved on from Trello to Notion. I find it a lot more flexible to use, since you can configure it for discrete types. Ooh. That is interesting. Actually, let's have a look at what Notion is. The all-in-one workspace. Ooh. Oh, did you mention this to me before? This looks familiar. Yeah, this might be worth me. It reminds me a lot of like Evernote for some reason. It could be. I mean, really, I think my thing tends to be. It's not so much the app, right? My big problem tends to be. I'm great at setting up a tracker of some kind, right? You know, Trello or Rally or just like sticky notes, like whatever. I'm great at starting those. I'm very bad at keeping them going beyond like the first 3 weeks, right? So that's something that I always have to kind of like bear in mind of, like whenever I switch to a new system. It's like I get the excitement of playing in the new system, and then the grind of like, oh my god, I have to actually like update this, and then remember to like move the cards here. If only someone could just like fix that, just like that would be really helpful. Note to self, I'm allowed to give baddies extra HP and use it all. Hell yes, 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 yes. Yes, yes, yes. This to me is like a really important part of running solo monsters. That's I probably don't do enough. Like, do I do any advice on that in the Monster Maker? Probably not, right? It might be a thing that I've kind of missed out, but if you want to have more time just to have your monster on the battlefield, give them more hit points, but don't spend those actions doing, you know, actions or attack. You know, spend them doing fun things or evocative things or things that give the illusion of danger, but not, you know, necessarily kind of like hit point danger. Yeah, more than one people already suggest Notion. Oh, hey, Joseph. How's it going? Lost half an hour. Did I lose the quick quests? Oh, hang on. Yeah, hang on. Here we go. Don't worry. It's the only thing it... I mean, I want to be annoyed and kind of, you know, counter this point, but I mean, it is basically like what I've spent the whole week focusing on, so... Ugh. It's very proud. Yeah, I've almost finished it for like the 3rd week running, right? I've got to stop saying this. Like, they say that ADD people are very bad at estimating time or how long a thing is going to take to kind of complete. And I never really... I like having these streams because it makes me aware of just how fucking on point that is for me. I'll do it by tomorrow. Be easy. It'll be easy. It spends like 5 days obsessing about card layouts. So, what is fucking wrong? Actually, so let me just. Oh, hey Lex, how's it going? Let me just kind of show that off again for Jota's sake, because I know Jota's quite into Quick Quest. So, just to repeat, it looks exactly the same as it was last time, but it's totally different. It's totally just so different. Oh my god, it's like worlds apart. Anyway, yeah. So I've now got like inventory stuff properly working now, which is good. I've got the card layouts to a point where I am properly happy with them now. They've all got colours. You know, you've got your grades: common, uncommon, epic. I'm just following like Warcraft kind of tiers. Which one's the epic one? There we go, rare sword. Boom. So they all have colours. They have a proper kind of edit screen where you can change all that stuff. Uncommon, boom, right? You know, you can edit, blah blah blah. Add tags, whatever. Add all your details. You can decide if it has bulk, if it has value, if it has charges, if it can be equipped, you know, etc., just by turning stuff on and off here. Maybe this item doesn't have charges, it's not equipable. There you go. Now it's hidden, right? Boom. So now the final piece of the puzzle that I just kind of need to figure out is getting rolling working properly. It's basically there. You can now select an attribute and an archetype to roll. And it will roll it. There you go, down here. Boom, 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 boom. So I still need to get my item modifiers working on equipped stuff, because this should be giving me +6 strength, but I've broken it, so it's not showing up here, which is kind of annoying. But it's there. Because then, like, once I've done that, I'm not going to say it's kind of done, but you know, it's kind of done. Anyway, so there we go. Yeah, soon TM. There we go. Anyway, sorry. So that's Quick Quest, and I'm going to stop putting time estimates on stuff. I'm not. That's a huge lie. I'm always going to put time estimates on stuff, and I'm always going to be late, but, you know. I like to think everyone here is kind of aware of that now. Anyway, sorry, where I'm at. I get the struggle of keeping up with stuff. Right now I'm managing my own technical debt of sorts around it. I have a few mediums for drafting notes and such. The intent to check in once a week to consolidate them and let myself. Yes. Yeah, this is a huge problem of mine, you know, personally, right? Because trackers are really boring to do. It's like, okay, well, I don't need to check the list, or I'll do it tomorrow, right? I'll update it now. Let me just do the fun work now, and I'll check off the stuff later. And then I forget to check it off, and then I'm like, it's all right, it's been a week, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do the whole thing in one go. And then, you know, you never do. Oh, Loop Hero, I've seen some good press about that. Actually, was that you, Lex, you were talking about Loop Hero on the Discord a while ago? Do a thing similar to that, where I basically have dramatic moments where I give them temp hit points. The players get through their temp. Yes. Yeah, that's another really good way. It's kind of like a narrative shield, right? It's like, hey, you could interrupt their monologue, but they've got like 19 narrative points of defense. So, you know, how are you going to break through that? That's a really good way of doing it, because it's a common thing. And less so with my games now, because I generally put a stop to that with the players straight away, which is like, if the monster is monologuing and a player's like, well, I make an attack before he can finish his thing, I will flat out just say, no, you're not, because you don't need to. I'm not going to use this as a way of like suddenly getting the advantage on you. We're going to do stuff normally. But I don't want us to run a game like that, because it's really boring, and the game just rewards like non-narrative, action-first kind of gameplay like that. So I pretty much, like I say, I just step over the screen very often in those points and be like, no, because that's boring, and you're boring me, the DM, and that's like the cardinal sin here. But having like a temp hit point shield is a really nice kind of mechanical solution to that, right? Yep, there we go. I hate Giffy. I'll end up investing in. I mean, it's great. I'm just going to put that on the that's like the review quote for Quick Quest, right? I'll just put that on the back of the box. I like doing it like that, so it can be something that makes sense. Yeah, this gives you almost like the best of both worlds, right? It's a mechanical thing, so your players can engage with it, and it's less like a DM kind of fiat thing, right? Even though it is DM fiat, you're just kind of putting a number on it to give the illusion of mechanical fairness, I guess. It looks great. The cards are a very cool addition to the system, and that pop-up will be very helpful. Yeah, I'm hoping so. It's one of those things, again, I'll design it, and then we'll see what problems people have if they actually like test it and play it and use it in gameplay, whatever. Yeah, so just to come back to this, so it's going to be kind of the benefit of having a card system like this is now I can reuse this for things like perks or class features or calling features or ancestry features, etc. That's going to be a new tab on here where you'll be able to like drag in like the fighter calling and have features attached to that, kind of like in D&D, right? And then just drop that onto the character sheet, and that will populate stuff. Although I realise at this point I'm basically rebuilding D&D with quick quests, so maybe that's kind of going against the grain. Need to have a think. Sun CM is a Blizz thing. Oh. Blizzard of the past. Loop Hero is... What am I listening to? Ah, Eschatos. This game has a phenomenally good soundtrack. Here we have... yeah, it's kind of done, right? It's kind of done. We picked the non-murder option. You picked the non-murder option in a West Marches game. Lex. What's the story? Absolutely, but not all villains are a man yelling at you. Some of them are giant dragons who are monologuing while taking out. So, that's a very good point. Yeah, no, I agree with that. That's if you're in that situation, having that kind of narrative, that mechanical way for players to engage with it, and is that's a good way to do it. I've never had a villain monologue in a game I run, purely because the rhythm of games mean that style of monologuing words. So I think it's not so much monologuing, right? Because I'm kind of the same. I don't like to monologue because the players, I want to let the players play the game, and that means engaging in a dialogue, etc. But what I like to do is when the players meet the villain, I want them to feel confident that they can engage in a conversation with the villain. And that is always threatened if you have one player who's just like, now I attack the villain. So in the interest of like group narrative engagement, I take that on board. It's like, okay, yeah, you'll attack, but first we're going to do this. You've decided what you want to do, but I'm not going to let it fuck up the rest of what the rest of the party are kind of engaged in doing. So if you want to attack and just like shortcut this, that's fine, but I'm going to run. We're going to play out the scene until the rest of it is kind of heading in that direction. Because I want players to feel like they can talk with the villains. Otherwise, what's the point of them? You get it. Quick quest reminds me of the index card RPG a little bit. Ooh, interesting. Index cards RPG. Oh, interesting. Okay, hang on. No, so yeah. So I think I've seen this. I've not played it or read into it, but I've definitely looked at. I think it was like index card RPG. It was like in images, right? Yeah, back when I was kind of like searching for card layouts for Darker Dungeons, and I was kind of figuring out, okay, what are the cards going to look like for what was it called? Card Codex. These were like I was looking at these kind of card layouts a lot because they're beautifully kind of straightforward and simple, right? I don't know what the mechanics of the game are so much, but this kind of card style, it's just delightfully simple. Quick quest is a means to an end. DD plus MM plus... Yeah, we'll get there one day. Going to sleep. No worries, Zulmar. Have a good sleep. Catch you soon. Thanks for joining. I think of it as comic book banter. Yeah, that's a good way to do it. Exactly. Very often, like, players are often afraid that by letting the villain talk, they'll lose an advantage. So this is like a point I try and reinforce when I'm running my games, especially with players who are new to my DMing style, right? Which is like, hey, look, I want to have a chat with the villain. I want the villain to like be a character. You can talk safely with this character. I'm not going to use it as a way to like dick you over with a surprise attack, you know, unless like something weird happens. Very often, like I say, I'll just straight out lay out my intentions as a DM for what a scene is intended to play out as. Just to kind of make it clear to players who may have missed subtlety or any of my little hints that I'm not trying to fuck you over here. I'm trying to have a cool comic book dialogue scene. Drunkens and Dragons was the first thing that really expanded my D&D horizons, got me into homebrewing, being creative with the game. Drunkens and Dragons. What's Drunkens and Dragons? Oh, Runehammer! Yes, yeah, I've seen some of his vids, like with the tattoos on his arms and stuff. He's still doing stuff. Interesting. Oh, he is, yes. I'll have to, like, check back on that. We were fighting a Final Fantasy Marlborough. Oh, excellent. Instead of killing it, possibly hurting the tree folk that have a connection to it, we turned it into a giant egg. Interesting. Oh, bless, you took the nice option, because you don't want to hurt the tree folk. Oh. This is the D&D we all want to play, right? I wouldn't be watching Giffy here if it wasn't for hankering Farinale. Dare I ask? Oh, or is that his name? Is that what I'm missing out on? Oh, okay, right, that's his name. Okay, yeah, there we go. Yeah, I think like those to me are some of the best. Yeah, I don't really watch a lot of YouTube stuff on D&D. Like, you know, I'm too arrogant about my own style and my own content, right? So I tend not to watch too much specific stuff about D&D or how to run D&D. Like, you know, like Matt Colville's kind of running the game videos and blah, blah, blah. Because they don't really necessarily mesh with the way I like to do things. But I'm really glad that stuff like that exists, because the main point that those things should be trying to teach you, or things like Darker Dungeons and Monster Maker should be like telling you, is that you can do whatever the fuck you want with these games. Like raw is not how you should run these. You should be breaking them apart to play in your own style and in your own kind of tones and tastes. Even actual original D&D is basically D&D light, technically. Yeah, I mean, in fact, like Quick Quest is kind of, or at least the bare bones version that's on the website is about as D&D light as I could make a thing. It's like, okay, you've got 6 attributes, 6 archetypes, you've got 10 hit points that you can also spend as a kind of power fuel. And that's basically it, right? That's kind of all you need to run a D&D light game. Now it's in Foundry, I'm kind of embellishing it a little bit more because I have the tech. But basically, I mean, D&D is just, you have a defensive kind of resource, you have some stats, you roll a d20, that's it, that's D&D. I actually have no idea how I first came across Giffy's work. I have a feeling it's probably Reddit, although I gradually stopped reading it as I got busy with running games. Yes. Yeah. This is like in a lot of ways I'm very bad. I really don't read or run a lot of homebrew because most times you can just kind of knock up a thing yourself, right? Or do a little patch that is going to be unique to your game and that particular scenario and particular situation. But yeah, this is like a common fear, isn't it? Right? You spend so long building the game, and then you never actually end up playing it, right? That's what I do with Skyrim all the time. You end up building your mod list, and then you spend more time building the mod list than playing Skyrim. Ooh, Ultimate Skyrim. Actually, I've seen this. Is it good? Is this something I should be checking out? Ultimate Skyrim. Ooh. Because I've kind of been wanting to get back into Skyrim, so I want to finish off my hand-drawn map of Skyrim. Still playing and modding Morrowind. Oh. See, Morrowind is a game... I'm sure we've spoken about this. I bought Morrowind originally in 2000... Would have been my second year of uni, so 2005? Something around that. Yeah, 2005. Installed it, hated it, right? I really couldn't get to grips with it. I think because at the time I was playing World of Warcraft, and the world of Svardenfell in Morrowind, right? Just the gameplay style I could not get to grips with. It was so weird and alien to me. I've never gotten back into it since, and I kind of have been itching to do it. I bought the pack on Steam during their last sale, so I have Morrowind, Oblivion, and Skyrim Special Edition. I'm gonna have to get open Morrowind, right, and just do it. First learned 5e from playing Adventurers League, which is Raw. Although I've since moved on from the format, I feel like understanding the core game has really helped me to understand how the systems work. Yeah, definitely. So this is the primary value of playing Raw, right? Is to understand or better understand what it is you need to change for your own kind of tastes and experiences, right? Too easy. It's very easy to kind of fall into the trap of changing a thing without really understanding why the thing was there in the first place. So playing Raw is fine. The problem I tend to have is when people are very adamant about sticking to Raw, even if it's not the best fit for their kind of group or experience or whatever. It's like this weird kind of reverence of the written text, right? Which is like, no, these are guidelines. They're useful, and it's good to have an official starting point, but you should be evolving that experience to suit your own particulars. Unless you're playing Adventurers League or something where the group is always being interchangeable, in which case you need a common understanding of the rules, which is where Raw comes. Raw is helpful. Ultimate Skyrim is not even Skyrim anymore, to be honest. I mean that's kind of a good thing though, right? Because do we agree that Skyrim is kind of shit as anything other than a platform for better developers to build better content around? Anytime I play Skyrim, what I'm really looking for or I'm enjoying is the potential for Skyrim, which, thanks to mods and stuff is that opens it up. But Imagine having time to play. I mean, yeah, I would love to imagine that. Imagine being able to play video games again and not feel like guilty about spending the time playing a video game. Oh my god. I put Hades down like, what, 2 months ago? Need to get back into that again. Not sure if Ultimate Skyrim is compatible with Special Edition, because... okay. I mean, I've got the original Skyrim anyway. I just got the Special Edition because it was kind of part of the sale. Well, in fairness, you can't buy the original anymore, I think, on Steam, right? Doesn't it say somewhere in the Player's Handbook or the DMG that the rules aren't actual rules and are more... I think it gives you that advice somewhere, right? Or it's like in the vagaries of the DM is always right, that kind of thing. But I think it's more... it's almost like a player view that they don't want to play a non-official game. It's like, no, if the DM's changed it, it's not real 5th edition anymore, and I want to play real 5th edition, not this weird homebrew that the DM's cooked up. That tends to be the pushback that I get, often, obviously, because I have tons of side rules, right? But to me, the main, it's mainly players from where this kind of friction comes, because they want to play the official game. And it's like, no, there isn't one. The official game is the game I'm playing. Oh, correction, the game I'm running. Witcher 3 is better than Skyrim. I mean, well, yeah, definitely. I mean, of course. So, Witcher 3 is better than Skyrim as a game. But Skyrim is better than Witcher 3 as a platform. Skyrim to me was like vanilla ice cream. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, yes. Yeah, I had this weird, I hated vanilla ice cream for a very long time, and now it's kind of one of my favourites. I mean, pistachio ice cream is obviously the best, right? Biggest problem with Raw is the fact that 5 years attempted to use natural language to describe things with... Yes. Yeah, this is a huge problem. 4th edition fixed it, but they were so desperate to burn any remnants of 4th edition, or just hide it under the sheets, that they went back to this just awful natural language to describe gaming. 4E was so convenient to play. It was ridiculous. It's wondering if there ever is a 6th edition. I wish that it would go back to using some of the 4th edition styles of terminology, but I don't expect that to happen. They've had such success with 5th edition that I don't see them ever going back to a sort of 6th kind of to a 4th kind of direction. I mean, like Pathfinder 2 kind of fills that niche now anyway, I guess, but... Oh, you can still buy it off of Steam. Okay, they kind of unlisted it. Right? Skyrim's just an excellent place to add stuff to. Yeah. That's the one thing. That's why I don't mind that Skyrim actually just gets re-release after re-release after re-release. Because I'm not even looking forward to Elsewhere. I think that's the 6th one, right? I don't actually care about it because... like Skyrim has all of the mods. I mean, Elsewhere will come out and it will be a trash Bethesda game, like they always are. And then you'll just have to wait, 10 years for people to fix it and mod it to something that you can enjoy a lot more. Dota 2 and Vermintide 2 is... Yeah, Vermintide 2, again, I've been meaning to get back into this. But, pistachio ice cream is the best, Lord and Saviour. Yes, yeah, pistachio is so good. Here in like I've got a few nice like gelato places nearby which do like oh, it's so good. It's like, oh, it's criminal. Like, I mean, I shouldn't enjoy it as much as I do, but oh boy, do I. Taste is subjective. With that said, I will. I mean, you definitely get points for this. Like, chocolate fudge brownie is a very good flavour. It's definitely in the top tier. Is it better than pistachio though? I mean, we're kind of falling into a trap here anyway with this, right? Because you don't just have to have one. You could have two, right? Maybe the best flavour is pistachio and chocolate fudge brownie. Give it time, and Elsewhere will be the next Skyrim. Like, Skyrim was the next Oblivion, full of mods. I mean, partly, I don't know, I feel like... Skyrim as a land is really, really good for as a platform for content, I guess, because it's really varied. You have this wonderful kind of winter aesthetic to it, this kind of like the frozen north. It's a very evocative setting that, like, I mean, Oblivion, in my experience with that game, doesn't really have, because it just kind of feels like bland, you know, fantasy, whatever, right? Whereas, I don't know, Skyrim is... There's something that feels adventurous about it, you know. You're in this harsh wilderness with these harsh peoples. It's like, okay, yeah, this is a place you want to, like... Oh, okay. Oh, I thought it was, like, officially going to be, like, Elsewhere. Elder Scrolls 6. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I mean, that's not going to be out for, like, years and years and years. Plus, also, I mean, I guess that the big fear as well is, like, the more complex these games kind of become, Elder Scrolls 6, presumably, the more difficult it becomes for people to make mods for these kind of things. That's always something that I'm increasingly kind of not concerned, well, kind of concerned, right, about the future of one, not only video game development, but two, tabletop development. As more things kind of move on to like virtual tabletops and whatever, it kind of narrows down the flexibility or the ability for people to homebrew stuff. If you don't agree with me saying that salted caramel or rum and raisin is the best ice cream, I mean, I didn't want it to have to end like this, Kenku, but I mean, it's crazy wrong. Salted caramel's good, rum and raisin, no. Mostly because it's got raisin in it. I don't want raisin in my ice cream. Ugh. Ugh. Grim. I don't like raisins in anything, basically. It's just the texture's too squidgy. As an aside, if anyone is curious about the Warcast, it's because the wording in the feed is must target only that creature. Specify that the spell itself has to be a single target. Lightning bolt, a single target, or even drop a meteor swarm on them. Interesting. Neapolitan ice cream. I want to say no, because the individual, like the strawberry one, is always like pretty bad, right? Neapolitan Extreme. Yeah, I don't think I've ever had like a good Neapolitan. It's always like maybe probably because I always had like cheap, like my family had cheap ones when I was growing up, but there's always like one of the three that's a huge letdown. Very often it's the vanilla, right? Like it's so easy to get bad vanilla ice cream. If you can get good stuff though, I really want ice cream now. By the way, I also played some Pathfinder 2 games. It's funny, but so far only ran the shorter adventure from the beginner's box. Was my party. 2 players already completed. I had to tinker, changing the map. Pathfinder 2 is very cool. Yeah, Pathfinder 2 is, I like, for me, the natural, not the natural, right, but the true successor to D&D 4th edition, because it takes all the correct lessons from it and just builds on it. Like, there's so many, like, mechanics in Pathfinder 2 that that I would build, but I don't really need to because they're already there, like runes and item construction and crafting rules and all these kind of things that are properly gamified. I still need to, like, my Pathfinder 2 campaign stopped because of COVID, so eventually, hopefully, I'll get around to starting that up again once everything's back to normal. So I don't know what the long-term kind of problems within Pathfinder 2 might be, but yeah, I'm looking forward to playing that again. Very looking forward to it. It's a shame, mate. A big part of this whole dev cycle for them is producing tools, right? Themselves and the modding community. Yes. Yeah, I'd agree with that. This is my big fear, though. Like, you kind of see, or you've seen the approach of Bethesda to modding in the last like 5 years, where they've come up with their what are they? The Creator Club or whatever it was, where they're starting to move towards monetizing mods, which is just pretty scary. It's pretty scary. Just developers in general, right? Like when they did the remaster of Warcraft 3 and the new terminology they put in there, which is like, hey, you can make mods for this, but we own them outright. Like, it's very scary stuff like that around modding nowadays. Like, the tools get better, but you have less and less control over that content, which is a big shame. What custom and hostile creature mix? Pathfinder 2 has some issues with all characters, kind of becoming super cookie cutter in their actions and stuff. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. So, 4th edition kind of suffered a similar issue, right, where there were builds that you would kind of follow, which is almost the downside of having such a Legoed, I guess, approach to character creation and character gen, or like the more complicated your character creation process is, the more min-maxy the paths kind of become. So I kind of wonder what that's gonna be like in the long run. But the 3 action system, kind of love it. Kind of love it. Foundry and Pathfinder 2 both fall into having MMO style rotations. Yeah. In fairness, this was something I loved. 4th edition is my D&D, right? It's the first version of D&D that I properly played. And I came into it having played a lot of World of Warcraft, so it was almost perfectly geared towards me and my tastes, especially at the time. And the games that we played, I had a very good DM who was very unforgiving. the first campaign I played in, we were basically trapped in the Shadowfell, and it was just like a grind to get through, like just to the next like stopping point, right? It was really dangerous, and every combat in that game was deadly. Like I've never known a character's powers as well as I did in that game and the following on game, because I had to know how to play that character. It was like learning a Warcraft raid, right? You have to know what you can do and when you can do it, and how to combine that with this feature that the other player has in order to like maximize your healing, to just get another couple of turns out of it. It was so much fun, but it was fun because we were a very combat focused, I guess, group, right? Twin spell is a whole mess in itself. Yeah, oh, yeah, what was the thing around twin spell? Like you can't twin a spell that allows you to target more than one creature, I think, right? Was that the errata they did for it? I mean, meta magic generally is just kind of the ability to oh, okay, yeah, there we go, yeah. I got there myself. I figured it out. But yeah. Alright, what are we at? Okay, we're at 11:15, right? Do I... What do I need to do? I kind of need to make plans for the rest of March, right? What are we at? We're... I've got 1, 2... So I've got 2 weeks left of March. So maybe I can get... Okay, March... What do... So I've got like 2 weeks left. Quick quest. So quick quest is kind of like the priority, right? I need to get that done and finished. So if I can just timeline that for a week, then that'll give me like 1 week for Monster Maker stuff. That might be okay, actually. Because for the Monster Maker, I don't need to do... We don't need to do a huge thing initially, right? Actually, there's probably like 2 stages of things that we can do. Let's just go back to 5e, 5e, 5e. Let's just get rid of you, get rid of you, get rid of you. You can fork Tetra import. Yeah, exactly. So there's like a very quick thing we can do, right? Which is like, hey, here you go, have the module and just import the stuff, boom, right? And that'll create a new monster, right? What do... Actually, so I've never... How do we do monsters in 5th edition? Sorry, in... What are they... Are they done as a character? They're done as an NPC, right, okay. Blah, blah, blah. A non-player character. Monster. Okay, so they just come through like this. I mean, it's pretty boring, but, you know, I guess if this is how you like your character sheets. I mean, it would probably be like really easy to just... I mean, doing an importer would be a straightforward way of doing it, right? There's a part I would kind of like to... Oh wait, it's here, right? I think eventually it would be really cool to like do a monster stat block like this, to have the option to look at it like in this format, right? But now again, maybe I'm just like download. I'm doing work for a problem that's a visual problem for me, not necessarily a gameplay problem. Like maybe people are just like fine to do this. My take is make a better Monster Maker app with login and cool options and just an import. So this is actually, I mean, this is that's what I was doing around December, January time, if you remember rightly, which is like, oh, okay, I'm going to look into doing a complete overhaul of the Monster Maker app that will have a proper persistent login and accounts and you know saving and all of that kind of stuff. But that's a very big project. So like it you know, doing a full kind of site overhaul is kind of like a big thing. So I still want to do that, but the time it would take to do that, I think, is going to be too big for this current stage. Whereas like the Monster Maker stuff should be, now that I know Foundry, relatively straightforward to do and might actually kind of provide more benefit in a shorter amount of time. It's a visual problem for me too. Yeah, it could be. I mean, that could just be like another module, to be honest, right? I could have a Monster Maker import, and then like a Giphy Monster Maker sheet. Because I think what I really want ultimately is the ability for you to have a monster like this, and then click an up arrow or a down arrow, and edit it on the fly, right? That to me is a very important part of like what the Monster Maker process should really be. You know, you have your monster, you click the edit button, and then that lets you level it up or down appropriately, right? So that's what I'm kind of hoping. Sorry, where was I at? One of my things for the rest of this month will be shifting my personal Foundry installation to a needlessly over-engineered AWS. Yeah, I mean, it's so good. Like when you can find an excuse to just justify doing the fun, like toy tech stuff, right? I love when that kind of works out together. Oh, nice. Yeah, DevOps roles. How's that going? I hate job interviews. Foundry monster sheets be ugly. Need the visual upgrades for MM later. IMO. Yeah, I mean it depends really on what we need. So hang on. So we need a way to import monsters from app into Foundry. So that's one thing that we kind of need. Then I think what we also need is a way to build new monsters directly in Foundry. So this is kind of like the other half of that, right? There's like there's this simple thing to like, okay, download this module and import thing, but it sounds like we kind of already have that, right? But I'll need to double check that. Then the other half of that coin is being able to build the monsters directly in Foundry, which presumably was kind of going to be the thing, right? Wait, you can make MMM Foundry with custom sheets. Can use MMM for other systems. Wait, hang on, sorry, I might be confused as to what you mean, Fabre. So, for other RPG systems, so presumably it's possible to make something that's what's the word? More system agnostic, but for the moment, the module that I create for Foundry will be focusing on 5th edition. It might be very easy to just kind of fork it and then also like, okay, it works for 5th edition, but now it also works for like Pathfinder or whatever else, right? Although it probably wouldn't because the math would be totally different, right? But the Foundry module, I'm not going to be focusing exclusively on Foundry. The Monster Maker app is something that I still want to maintain and update in this year, basically. So that will, like I say, hopefully get user accounts and still be its own kind of platform. So you pick a role, a type, and then a level. Yeah, so basically what I want effectively for Foundry, or the module that I create, is this thing, this whole process, this way of building a monster. This is what I want in Foundry, or I want to port into Foundry. So let's hang on. So let me just switch back to Quick Quest, which is the template for this. With Quick Quest, and the approach that I generally like to take is, okay, we have this, which is like the pretty version of the object, right? It's like, okay, this is the item, and it has like whatever important stats we kind of want to show off, right? It's like, okay, it's got some, this is the name of it, this is the quality, the image, tags, bulk, value, modifiers, and basic description, right? Whatever. Now, if I want to edit it, I open up a specific edit dialog. So now imagine that this here now imagine that this is the final stat block, and this edit box is all of these options. That's what I'm kind of imagining for the Monster Maker Foundry kind of integration. So that way you can have your whole edit tab and it will work like this. And the final stat block will look, you know, sexy, right? It will be this, and then you could click a button and it would do a roll and whatever, right? Because then you could still build this content, you could still have all these actions or whatever, but if you need to suddenly change the level, you just open up the edit, you press an up button or a down button, you just change the level as you do here, boom, 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 blah, 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 and then it updates the stat block when you save it. That's, like I say, that's what I'm thinking and intend for the Monster Maker full kind of integration. But I need to plan that. Got the final interview for a role at 10:30 tomorrow. Ooh. Behavior-based threat detection modeling using an AI which improves through a combination of supervised and unsupervised. Oh my god. I mean, that sounds like way more complicated than I build websites, basically. Yeah, that sounds full on. Behavior-based threat detection. I mean, it also sounds kind of like weirdly dystopian. Like anytime I kind of start hearing these things, like behavior-based threat detection using an AI, the future, we're here. But yeah, good luck with that. That sounds exciting. Having it import the JSONs with prop. Yeah, so that to me is like stage 1, right? It's like, okay, stage 1, we get them in, and they work, hopefully. Machine learning is such an interesting field. Yeah, I remember I took... I did machine learning modules at university when I was doing my computer science degree. And I think I literally... I might have failed this module entirely or just scraped through by the skin of my teeth because I could not get my head around it. I mean, partly because I didn't really go to lectures or really focus on any of the work because I was playing World of Warcraft almost exclusively at that point. But, you know, we are where we are. Now I really want to play Shadowrun. I hate Shadowrun as a system. Yeah, I've never played a Shadowrun game. It's never been a popular one in my circles. Tiny 5e monster sheet is... Ooh, actually, let's have a look. Oh, thank you for the players, Wesley. That's super kind of you. Oh, which reminds me that I need to update my patron list by the end. Okay, I'm going to do that in secret for the next half hour. So, except it's not in secret because I literally just told everyone. Excellent. It's dystopian as hell. Some people are building Skynet and the one not delivering the internet. Well, I mean, see, maybe that's... Look, we can't stop the Skynet nightmare of the future, right? But what, you know, now you're in a position to put in the right kind of backdoors for yourself to kind of, you know, survive the nightmare, right, that's coming. Yeah, these are like monster sheets. I don't like the Foundry sheets, but I do respect that they are very functional. You know, I spent too much time over the last like couple of weeks obsessing about wrong system about obsessing over the look of the quick quest kind of sheets, right? You know, is that always a good use of your time? You know, I could have probably finished it by now if I was just like, whatever, I'm just using the same forms as Foundry and not really worrying too much about the appearance or whatever. It gives you like as much flexibility as you need to just show stuff off, right? But then no, I'm too obsessed with appearance and colours. Just sexy items. Yeah, there we go. See, the colours even show on your... yeah, this is it. This is the real shit. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. It's not really quick quest without the gift. Pretty much, yeah. Style is, I mean, just very important, to be honest. It's like so many people create homebrew or RPG systems, right? Because it's, you know, very easy to kind of get into. So a lot of the time, the only thing you can do to try and make your work stand out from other people's is to, you know, give it a style or something that will make it visually stand out, if not mechanically. I want to say that's part of the reason why I obsess so much about the appearance, but it really isn't. I'm just like a stupid perfectionist. Tangentially related to AO based on RPG talk. Home games have had an entire plot thread to enact Rollo's Basilisk. Rollo's Basilisk? Which one's this? Oh wait, oh, did Veli mention this before? This sounds very familiar. Thought experiment. This agent can't affect probability, so torturing people fair. Oh my god, just tell me what the fucking theory is, jeez. A sufficiently powerful AI would have an incentive to torture anyone who imagined the agent but didn't work to bring the agent into existence. Ah, okay. Alright, there we go. Yep. Fucking AIs. There's a tidy sheet dark mode pick in Discord. Ooh, okay. I think it's less about. Yeah, so I think my issue is less about the colours, and more just the sort of the layout and just the flair of it, right? I mean, dark mode is definitely better, but it's still boring, I guess. Is that it? And I kind of want to. I mean, yeah, I would. Maybe it's just because I'm so easily distracted, right? It's like, hey, no, it needs to look sexy just to kind of get my attention. Yeah, it probably is, isn't it? God damn it, I'm gonna have to do that. CR1? What am I missing? Oh, that bit. Yeah, interesting. Must just be misalignment somewhere. Just want to stop in and acknowledge that you up to Thanks, DJ. I definitely didn't do it like half an hour before the stream because I knew people would chastise me for not doing my homework. This is why, like I said, this is why it's having the streams. You know, it does take a big chunk of time. Or like back when I was doing 3 streams a week, that did take up a significant kind of chunk of time, right? But for someone as easily distracted as me, right, or like who can very quickly get lost down perfectionist trails, holes, whatever. This is basically a vehicle for like group shaming me into doing stuff that I say I'm going to do, right? So it's like, okay, fine, fuck. I need to do it. I need to do it, otherwise the bad internet people will make fun of me. But yeah, so I think like Foundry, not Foundry, I do want to try and use, I want to update the Trello a little bit more and start to use it a bit more like I do in work, which is thinking in terms of sort of 2-week sprints and what I can achieve within those 2-week sprints. Because at the moment I'm thinking in vague sort of monthly terms of like, okay, this is what I hope to achieve this week. But when I'm dealing on the big projects like Foundry and learning it and doing an entire kind of set of modules, it can be easy for me to like lose sight of the grander scheme of things. So I kind of need to start using Trello as a proper agile workflow. So I'm probably going to start to do that. Maybe I'll start to do that from next week, actually. I'll do a 2-week one. Actually, that'll probably be useful because that'll get us through to the 28th. That's probably good, actually. CR1, my monsters have levels. Yeah, of course they do, Fabre, because that's 100% the right way to do it. Challenge rating is, I've said it before, I'll say it again, is the biggest waste of DM time that Wizards could have come up with. It's such a stupid system. It's utterly meaningless. It has no correlation to like how threatening a monster is actually going to be. It tells you nothing about the math or the potential of that monster, and it makes it incredibly difficult to create an encounter, which is the #1 thing that you're going to do as a DM time and time again. It's so stupid. I really like if any, it's like it's the second thing that I guess implore, right, to DMs, or I advise DMs, right. It's like, one, switch to a week-long rest, because that will transform your game in very interesting ways. And 2, drop challenge ratings and use monster levels, because you will save yourself so much time. And have a much easier time building encounters, which again is the #1 like time sink for a lot of DMs. Essentially, I have a Wizards Auspicer NPC that's showed up in almost all my games called Roller. Okay, nice. Now, interesting. So are you going to use, are you using this Rolo character as a sort of way to introduce Warforged into your setting? I'm exactly the same way. Yes. It's so easy to just kind of like chase little details, right? It's just like, nah, it's fine, I'll refactor this little bit of code. It won't take long. Oh, okay, there's 3 days of work. As a goal tracker, I appreciate that Giffy has respect for proper... this is... So... this is basically because... It's a weird little... It's probably a problem, right? But if something doesn't look good, I tend to take it less seriously. It's almost like the, what do they call it? It's like the shattered windows social theory. Is that it? It's like, hey, if something looks shit, people are going to take less care and interest in it, because it's almost like it has no inherent value. You know, the better something looks, the more value it kind of feels like it inherently has, or at least it does to me. So that's again another part of the reason or rationale behind my spending so much time on appearance is it makes it gives it more weight in my head. Yeah, does that make sense? I think I'm just rambling at this point. Rasp made a thing. Ooh, what has Rasp made? Oh, is this the business card thing? Yeah, I think, yeah, Rasp sent me a message earlier about like, oh, I should put like Quick Quest on a business card. Ah, interesting. Let's have a look. Do it on the front and the back. Challenge racing is so ambiguous. I hate it. Yes. The PV encounters are so damn fun with that balance of monsters we fight on our APO. Oh, excellent. Yeah, I'm really glad that's working out well. I mean, like, it looked like Crash puts a lot of work into the monsters he creates, which is he takes that stuff really seriously, which is great. Broken Windows theory. That's it. Yes. We like to see art as a metric for the strength of a monster because it can be incredibly misleading. Vanilla Shadow is half CR will mess up even. Yeah. So I mean, it's not even a case of like I can accept that. Look, you know, whatever metric you use to levels or challenge ratings, they're not always going to be a true representation of the power of the monster because they're just arbitrary guidelines. Depending on the encounter and the party setup and the unique features of that monster, it might punch well above or below its level or challenge rating. So I can forgive a little bit of like, okay, shadows are a half, it will fuck anyone up. For me, the biggest offense is that it's just a useless way. It's just a useless attribute because it complicates encounter building. Like challenge rating is what, okay, this is the level. Let me just challenge racing is a guide to its overall power in respect to guide to its overall power. It doesn't even fucking like challenge racing work in tandem. Creature with a CR higher than the power levels, blah blah blah. Fuck it, even when it's telling me on the official website like what a challenge racing should be, like it fucks up. And yeah, that to me is just the big offense. You don't have to be power accurate, but you do have to make the game easy to run. And challenge racing fails on both those counts. You bang on the money about the Warforged. My home setting is somewhat low magic. There we are. Yeah. We had a similar thing like when Warforged kind of originally came out. Because I love Warforged and mechanical creatures. But I like I like to tie Warforged in as a sort of like with a humanoid element, right? So they're like cybernetic humans, basically. They're cyber. God, what are the monsters in Doctor Who? They're Cybermen. There we go. They're like Cybermen or Borg or like, that kind of thing of like, okay, they're Warforged, but they have human elements to them, like a human brain or whatever it was. That gives them a lot more pathos. Rather than them all being like, yeah, we were generic robots made for war and then... Yeah. So once you go down the route of like, oh, okay, people are going missing, and now these weird, like, little automatons are starting to pop up. Now you have juicy story material, because it's like, are they ever going to remember who they used to be? And if they do, how is that going to change their personality, or what do they do with that knowledge? Do they go mad? Do they try and regain their former life? Now you've got, like, lots of story stuff. The Alpha we fought, which had 4 Paragon actions plus some... Oh, yes. Paragon actions, to me, are really... they're so important. Solo monsters need to have a juicy action economy, and lair actions are definitely not strong enough to fill that niche, right? Not least because layer actions don't scale, or at least in default 5e, right? They don't scale with the number of party members you have, whereas Paragon actions definitively do. I think the weird thing about 5e monsters is they fall down in so many ways. The underlying math, yes. Yep. Yeah, this is it again. You know, I keep coming back to this, and you know, Monster Maker is basically just a rip-off of like 4e. It's just trying to take 4e and jam it into 5e because it should have been there from the start. There's no encounter building tools or advice beyond here's challenge rating, fill your boots, and there just aren't enough interesting tools to customize monsters in fun and interesting ways. Part of that problem is because, and 4e did not suffer from this, 5e monsters use the same progression paths as characters. Progression math as characters. So this is like the big thing, right? Or like this is a big source of the problem between 4e and 5e. In 4e and in Monster Maker, I make no illusion about the fact that I am not using player math in any way, shape, or form. I don't care how much a longsword does in a player's hands. In a monster's hands, it's using totally different math because we're playing a very asymmetrical game here. 5e monsters, however, use as much of like the character progression as possible, and I think it suffers greatly for that. I mean, who ever thought, like, giving monsters spells? Are you kidding me? It's 2 level 1s, level 2, 2 level 3s. Oh, that's awesome. I tried to frame Warforged around the fact their composition is closer to golems than sci-fi robots. They're made of wood and stone. Oh, that's okay. That's awesome. Yeah, I like wood and stone. Beautiful. Oh, hey, Caster. How's it going? Thanks for joining. How are you doing? Yeah, this is really good. I mean, especially like because when you do golems, right, you can now do a whole Discworld golem feet of clay kind of approach, right? Which, I mean, yes. Words in the head will never die. Wait, is it words in the head or words in the heart will cannot be taken? Yeah, there you go. Oh, Feet of Clay, just phenomenal book. You'd imagine a system where monsters all have 1 or 2 abilities would be extremely well balanced because there are so few factors to consider. It's harder to balance. Yeah. It like I say, it all stems down from or the root of the problem stems from the fact that 5e uses one progression for players and monsters, which has caused it no end of problems. One, monsters are boring, tedious to make, frequently like not challenging. If you want to use magic, well, okay, brilliant. Read the fucking spell books. No, I've got better things to do. And also spills out into why druids and wild shaping is such a problem, because we use the same monster progression path, right? They're starting to change things a little bit, like you see in Tasha's, right, with the generic monster kind of stat blocks. So it's almost like they're slowly starting to try and unpick this and revert it, but it's too little too late. CR being based on a party of 4 characters. Yes. Yeah, this is... It's unworkable. It's unthinkable that in the modern age, where there is no guarantee that your party is going to have like 4 characters, why anyone would do this. It's... As a designer, this aggravates just every atom of my being. 5 user spells substitute for every kind of effect in the game. It's true for monsters. Yeah, exactly. So, and this to me is like a very big problem that 4E fixed. You know, if I want my monster to cast a fireball at a creature, I shouldn't have to read, or it shouldn't be encouraging me to use the spells in the book, because 1, it's too much work, and 2, it's too much work. It's not right to have to ask the DM to learn all the intricacies of player spellbook material for every monster that they want to run. It's like, ugh. God, now I'm tempted to binge Terry Pratchett's body of work. I mean, I can think of no better use of your time. I mean, what a canon of work, right? I mean, we can skip the first 3, you know, that's fine. Like, Light Fantastic, no, Colour of Magic, Light Fantastic, more equal rights. You know, he's finding his legs, that's fine. But, you know, from what? Mort onwards? I mean, is there a bad one? I don't think so. Well, I mean, up to the point where, you know, his oh fuck, what was it he had? His, you know, his illness kind of really started to kick in. Snuff, I think, is where it gets bad. Monsters use spells are cool and all, but they require lots of time to prepare. Yeah, this is exactly my problem, right? It's like it's just so much work. It's ridiculous. The DM already has enough to do without having to worry about this stuff. It's fine for players to have to deal with that kind of intricacy because they have to manage one character. And they have lots of time to think about that one character and know when and when not to use Fireball, right? As a DM, I just want to have like magic effects, or just use a healing spell. I'm not going to sit down and read the book to know about when I can and cannot use this. I'm just going to make an effect up because that's literally all the time I want to spend on this. It's so bad. Again, 4E fixed it. It had no illusion about like using the same rules on both sides. It's because CR is up. Yeah. See, I mean, yeah. Challenge rating is like from the old days, and they just wanted to hide 4th edition. It's like no. It's not like 4th. It's not like 4th. Look, it smells and like plays just like 3.5. Oh, you know. It's like we didn't learn anything. Alignment. See, like, I mean, alignment is... I see this kind of pop up a lot on Twitter. Alignment used to be one of those things that I paid no attention to as a DM, and I saw no value in. But now I was kind of like, wait, hang on. Yeah, actually, alignment has a very important role in player role playing. You know, an alignment is almost a mission statement, where the player is saying, "Hey, look, my character is chaotic evil." Right, so now I have the license and almost a signpost that is going to encourage and direct my role playing, because without alignment, one, your character can kind of do anything, right? Because there's no alignment to what's the word? Advise you. But more importantly, it makes it much harder for you to role play as characters who, one, do not fall into your own kind of traits and habits, or two, don't go against the party. Is that what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So an alignment is a permission, basically, right? It's like, okay, I'm going to choose this alignment. This character is, you know, is lawful evil, right? That's what it is. So now I'm playing a lawful evil character. I'm not a lawful evil person, right? I'm you know, whatever. But the character that I'm trying to play here is lawful evil, and that's the statement on the paper. So now if players get annoyed or angry at me, like for doing a thing, I now have a thing on the paper that makes it clear, look, this isn't me, don't get annoyed at me for taking this action, this is the character that I am role-playing because we are in a role-playing game, right? And I know I'm kind of focusing on, like, you know, like PvP kind of actions there, you know, but that's as an example, right? Hang on, let me catch up. Sorry, that was a bit of a rant. I also find it stunning that pre-written adventures have no guidance for DMs to balance around. Yeah. Low-level 5e is maddening. I don't know why. I mean, 5th edition from levels 1 to 3 is the most dangerous that game is, right? Because the monsters kick out stupid amounts of damage for the levels that for the hit points that you have at levels 1 and 2. This is not a fun way to play it, like to run a game. Oh, my wizard died because the goblin got a lucky crit. Well, that was a fucking waste of time, right? You know, if you look at, like, the Monster Maker, one of the things that I was very insistent on in the math of that was that at low levels, you know, levels 1s and 2s, monsters will only do like 1, maybe 2 hit points of damage on a hit, rather than just like kill you outright, because that's bad. Right? Like you should always be able to take about 3 to 4 decent hits from an attack before you kind of risk dying. Anyway, sorry, where am I at? Should just handpick 2, 3 players. Handpick spells, copy paste them into the stat block, and allow GMs to improve the rest. Yeah, well, I think that the big problem really is that they just don't advise GMs enough to make shit up. Right? It's like every example they do, every monster they create, it uses player spells, which only reinforces the official way to play this game is to use player spells, because they just don't put the advice out there that look, you don't have to do it this way. You can make shit up, and this is an example of like making shit up. This is why DD and GIF has a small bit. It's so fervent. They make me do all the things I don't want to do. Oh, I have to do YouTube after this. Damn But hang on, sorry, I'm way back. Big thing about alignment is that it used to be prescriptive, not descriptive. Used to define how a character acted. Yes, yeah. So I think actually, yeah, this is you and I think Caster have the right of it here, where it's like alignment. I see a lot of value in from a role-playing sense. So I'm glad it's still in the thing, and I don't really I generally don't agree with like, hey, you know, alignment is a piece of bullshit and it shouldn't be in the game. It definitely should be in the game, but the problem in 5th E is just it's grafted. There's no mechanical connection to it, right? It is just there, which is a real shame. Like, it used to be a significant thing. It was meaningful, especially if you like a cleric or a paladin. Very important kind of thing. You know, you had to roleplay that thing, and if it changed, you were kind of fucked, right? Whereas now, nothing. No one cares, which is really annoying. Some level rookies. I'm going to put everyone in one of 9 boxes. It's also very difficult. It kind of is, but I think that to me is kind of is. Part of the problem is that the lines can be a bit blurry and a bit what's the word? Just a bit grey sometimes around some of them. But I tend to find it like it's actually kind of a useful mental exercise when I'm trying to, especially when I'm creating an NPC. And I'm trying to just as an exercise, okay, where would I put them in the grid? Or more importantly, where do I want to put them, and how is that going to influence some of the narrative that I now build around that character? Display your character using the specific info that you put into the sheet at level 1, bonds, flaws. So you could do this, that is also a thing, but I generally tend to find like a lot of players don't do these. It's like they're kind of useful, but they can be very narrow, right? Whereas an alignment is a bit broader and can give you a lot more, what's the word? Can direct you in larger character arcs, is that probably the thing? Whereas a bond and a flaw and a personality traits, they tend to be more specific, like you're responding to a specific situation or an emotional state or like whatever, right? Whereas, you know, an alignment is a grander coverall. When you play a D&D version with alignment, my group tends to understand alignment as prescriptive for gods, but descriptive for mortals. Yeah. So I think like alignment should change, right? Alignment is a mission statement and should change to reflect player actions. So I think this is kind of like the not the trap, right? But a lot of people confuse, right? In that an alignment is a straitjacket, and it's not. It's a mission statement. Like you would describe yourself as like, no, okay, I am being a neutral, good character, right? And then the GM is supposed to take into account your actions during the game and be like, okay, you know, this is going to shift your alignment in this direction or this direction, and use that to again update the mission statement, right? That's basically what it is. It shouldn't be a straitjacket. It's just a kind of reflection. Sorry, where am I at? Oh, time check. Yeah, where are we at? Oh fuck yeah, it's midnight, right? Oh my god. All right, let me catch up on chat and we'll just see. Outside of 3 spells, yeah, alignment's like again, it's they pay lip service to it in the rules, but there's no mechanical benefit to it. Speaking of alignment and clerics, you should look up Hell or the Burning Hate sometime. Ooh. Okay, yeah, let me cue that up. Very confusing for they don't understand it now. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I mean, this is part of the problem. Like, they pay lip service by including alignment and just kind of shoving it in there, but they don't give it the narrative. They don't give it the mechanical weight that it should kind of have, but they also don't really give you enough advice on what to do with it or what it should signify in the game. It's a real problem. Longest character I played was fully built using Xanathar's guide to everything. Yeah, I really enjoy that kind of background generator. I think that came out after I'd done the Darker Dungeons ones. So the Darker Dungeons kind of random character generation is kind of like that light, right? You know, you have to make a fewer set of rules, but it is I exclusively randomly generate characters now. I never like custom build stuff. Totally unrelated ones to make a thought. Have you considered adding a few paragraphs with some advice around adding uncommon rare attacks? I've been totally clear on whether solo should have several rare attacks. Yeah, interesting. I'm not sure what advice I have on that beyond, because yeah, like you say, it's kind of an art more than a science. I think part of it is in the spectacle of the thing, right? If you have a rare attack, then that's like an opportunity to showcase or like do a big cinematic thing. Let me have a think on that and see if I can come up with like a concrete kind of answer. So maybe doing them a favour because it's so different, and I know it's just there because of its namesake. Yeah, no, I agree with this, and this is kind of like the big problem, right? Or like, this is almost why having alignments up front can be useful, because it gives you an opportunity to smoke out a player like that right from the outset. If they start the game and they're like, okay, I'm chaotic evil, you can immediately step in and be like, whoa, why? And what are you going to do with that? Because no. So that for me is almost like why that mission statement approach to it is kind of helpful, because you just get to have a broad look at what the characters are intending to what approach they're intending to take with the game. Let's go to Biomancy. Okay, right. Hang on, let me just have it. What should we got? All right, I might have to. Oh, fuck, you did give me this like right at the start, didn't you? Okay, all right. Let me have a look at this now, quick. Because I said I was going to do it, and I did not. Okay, all right, hang on. Okay, so this is the School of Biomancy, which is a subclass that Mountain Dew has come up with for the wizard in class compendium. Let's just have a quick dive into and see what we can do with it. So familiar in the flesh, you learn the find familiar spell. Familiar is a monstrosity. Yes, okay, and a combination of two available. Stat block of one of the two familiars. Okay, this is interesting. It's I like that. It's kind of like a fusion of two things, but it only uses the stat block of one, so let's have a think on that. I feel like the wording around that might just need a little bit of work. Okay, so your limbs are malleable flesh, which is reshaped through various mutations. As an action, you can mold one limb onto another type of limb. which is what transmission and we use to form the semantic. Okay, you can see to model their limbs. One limb onto another. And I'm trying to right, okay, hang on. You can mold 2 limbs at a time. I'm just having a dumb moment here. I'm not quite sure. You can mold 1 limb. Oh, into another type of limb. Right, okay, there we go. Okay. If you model a limb into a standard limb, choose what kind of limb it becomes. I'm not really sure about... Let's go now. Oh, no worries. Thanks for joining, Caster. Lovely to chat as always. Catch you next week. Well, I mean, if you tune in next week. There we go. Yeah, let me... sorry, I might have to take some time to read this, Mountain Dew. I don't think I'm quite getting the mold limbs thing. Mold limbs with liquid bloods. Yeah, sorry, I think I need some time to like sit down and probably read that. Might be the wording, but I'm not quite... It's my fault, I probably just left it too late and now I'm having like a brain moment. Sorry. I'll get around to that. Where are we at? Where are we at? Alright, hang on, where are we? Where are we at? Yeah, I'll do it right after the VODs, right? It's gonna be so easy. It's gonna be so quick. Hang on, let me just double check. It's Sunday, right? So I need to do the thing that I definitely remembered to do last time and was not reminded by Fabre about when I did it. 4 VODs in queue, yes. So hang on, what am I doing? Patrons, okay, yeah, there we go. Gimme. Accounts, update you, yes. Shame, I know, right? Shame is I hate it, but I love it. You know, it's very good. Fucking hell, Giff, come up with words. Words would be really useful to do. Cool. So yeah, so I'm going to start to wind things down, basically. But yeah, so I need to update the VODs, which is fine. So I've got one in... Actually, is that ready? Oh, I wonder if it's ready. Actually, let's just imagine if it was ready now. Let's just check. Let's just check if it's ready. I think it might be ready. Because if it is, then that'll show Fabre, right? That'll teach it. Yeah, look at that. It's ready. Alright, there we go. Give me the link. See? Did it. I did it. I didn't Photoshop it. I did it. At least I'm assuming that's like... Oh wait, except the... Okay, alright. Okay, unlisted. I need to make it unlisted. That's what I need to do. I can't do this. Yeah, I just realised that it was like private because I haven't updated it. I haven't made it public yet. So I think that should work now. It should be unlisted now. Anyway. Oh, thanks for joining, DJ. Have a good week. Yeah, like I'll update the Trello, and I might actually start to use it as a thing, which would be kind of nice. Sorry, let me just update Patreon stuff because I was meant to do that earlier. Projects. Oh my god, I'm having such a brain moment. Fuck. Streaming. Yes. Gimme. Yeah, there you go. Exclusive content. See, that's why you tune in, right? It's just to get the behind the scenes, hot, juicy deets. Okay. That's the yes. Okay, all right. I think that's that's all. All right, good. Yeah, okay, that's fine. All right, cool. Yeah, so thanks everyone for tuning in. Lovely to chat as always. Should be so there'll be a stream on Sunday. So March again, we'll probably just be doing one a week, and then hopefully in April I'm gonna bump that back up to like 2 a week. I'm hoping because Giffy needs that shame, right? So yeah, thanks for tuning in and having a lovely chat. As always, super huge thank you to, when I get the tab, there we go. Super huge thank you, obviously, to all my super kind patrons and Twitch subscribers. Your support really means a lot. It's hugely appreciated. It's super generous of you, especially in, you know, the times. Yeah, it's very kind of you. Thank you. Huge thank you, as always, to my super generous Prime Sigils, Adivice Dragia, Alexander von Bose, Anthony Kampler, Barkstone, Bird Marrows, Dario Hajik, Dor Sivan, FC Wessel, Fowline Twinbear, George, Hoots Kenku, Jordan Linden Lees, Mickey Minaj, Necrotic Fawn, Nick Gable, Strider, and Tristan Bassinet. And to all of my glyphs and runes as well. Thank you. It's really kind of you. So there should be a stream on next week. Hopefully I'll have some more VODs uploaded, or at least I'll know what my YouTube routine is going to be. And we'll get on with it. So yeah, have a lovely week. Catch you all again later, and good night. Bye everyone. That's the thing. There it is. Now I'm going. Good night.